Hello internet friends, welcome back once again. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Have another video for you, and the footage you're going to be watching is from my first squat session from this week. It was kind of a volume focused squat session and it went pretty well. You just saw that warm-up right there was my last warm-up, 495 for a single, and I have been taking most of my warm-ups recently with the intention of not only getting ready to handle the heavier weights, but also to prepare myself mentally and to build confidence by not using my equipment, not using my belt or my knee sleeves, my wrist straps, or even my training shoes. And in my most recent squat workout that I did last night, I warmed up to 495 without any shoes at all, just kind of building my mental toughness, I guess, so that once I'm ready to take my first working set, it feels even better having warmed up without any of those things that are kind of in performance improvers, I guess you could think of them. And here you're seeing my top set, 550 for 4. A few weeks ago, this seemed so far out of reach. I think I posted a video on Instagram of when I finally took 505 for a triple and was starting to feel like I kind of was getting back on track and confident or comfortable again with even the technique of squatting. And kind of the topic that I want to get into is going to piggyback a little bit off of what we've been talking about in the last few videos, the idea of kind of setting yourself up for further growth and fighting your way through those low points. And right now, I'm moving again with real motivation within the sets, but that was not the case for at least a 2-month period of time where every single session that I did not have any motivation that was driving me. It was all reliant on the driving force of the distant future of like, this is what I'm working towards. And the one thing that I was trying to kind of hold on to and embody within my own approach was the importance of just not quitting. You don't always have to be your best. And I talked in the last video about how you want to limit the things in your life that are pulling away. If excellence is your pursuit, if whatever it is you're trying to do, you want to be better than just okay at it, better than just most people can get to, you want to be the best that you can be in whatever that is, it is an imbalanced approach. You have to put more of your focus towards that than the other things that you have in your life, and you can't be the best at a bunch of things at the same time. You have to prioritize and reduce the amount of factors that are pulling your focus away from that, but you also have to commit to just getting through the parts that are the most difficult. I've talked about it in terms of just enduring those low points, but it really just comes down to not quitting. Even if you don't feel like you're moving at all, you're building kind of your collective experience, and those super low points are an important part of the experience because they shape the way that your perspective fits for the rest of the journey. These sessions feel so much better now because of how crappy everything felt before. And if I would have quit when I wanted to quit, if I would have just stopped, I would not have been able to break through those low points into this area of excitement and growth and reinvigoration that I have found. This motivation was reliant on me getting to this point. If I would have stopped, if I would have quit, which for me wasn't really an option. I mentioned in the last video, this is my job, this is what I do. But along the same vein, if you have something in your life that you are committed to or that you're passionate about, the biggest factor for success is going to be continuing to pursue that for a long enough time that you will be able to break through those blockages, those barriers, those things that are preventing everything from always feeling the best. So many people will get discouraged, and I was discouraged. Everyone, you will get discouraged at some point. A friend of mine, Izzy Navarez from Powerlifting to Win, said in one of his videos about not quitting that most of the time we will succeed so much faster than we deserve, but so much slower than we would like to. If you are willing to grind through those difficult points and put in the time, you will eventually break through if it's what's meant to happen. If you have put in the work and you're honestly focused on it, and the pursuit that you've picked lines up with what you are able to produce. You know, if you're 4'2" and you want to play in the NBA, your work ethic may not be the biggest contributing factor to success in that, but it is the only thing that you can control. Your work, the amount of work you're willing to put in, the amount of endurance you're willing to subject yourself to, and the amount of not quitting you are open to the possibility of, is the determining factor for getting you through these points that are the most challenging and the most struggle filled. You're not always going to be able to rely on motivation. Sometimes you have to rely on the commitment that you made to yourself that this is important enough that you're going to dig in and just be unflinchingly committed to working in spite of the difficulty, in spite of the challenges, and in spite of the fact that you don't feel like you're making any real progress. Because you may not be making visible progress. You may not be making progress that is going to manifest itself in a measurable way, but you are building your character, you are building your emotional resume so that further down the road, when you run into a smaller issue, you know that you can survive it. It hardens you against the idea of quitting once you've committed yourself to something. And I would argue that that is the biggest determining factor towards actually growing into whatever it is you care about and pursuing the things that you are trying to be successful at. If you are willing to dig in and to not quit and to commit to just moving forward, or not falling off and giving up, even if you've moved backward, even if you are further behind than you thought you would be or think you should be, if you quit, you will never break through that moment of difficulty or that time frame of difficulty. But if you just keep plugging away, eventually things turn. You will find that moment of inspiration, that little wave, that tiny wave of motivation that you need to pull you out of the doldrums of disappointment and frustration and failure feelings towards the road of motivated, success-driven inspiration. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you found this insightful or helpful or something. And thank you so very much for the support that you continue to give. I'm so glad to be able to say that I have gotten through this most recent difficulty spike in my life. And I am enriched and excited and just so motivated now to endure those kinds of things more effectively, more efficiently in the future, because I'm better prepared for it. And knowing that I have a strong support community in this platform for this outlet for me is worth more to me than I think most of you know. So thank you very much, and I will talk to you very soon. Have a great day. Bye.